Gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Thanks for being patient. It has been several months since I have made a video. Not that I want to explain myself or need to, but two reasons why I have not made a video. One, I have a main channel which I do photography on, and I've been working on that. The second reason is the weather has just been terrible here in California. Non-stop rain. We've had a few sunny days, but of course I've been busy on those days, so I didn't get a chance to make a video. But I thought, you know what, I can make a video even though it's cruddy out. It's been a while. I know my boys out there wanting to see the 135i. So this video is going to be two parts. The first part is going to kind of be answering some questions that I get frequently in the comments about my car. And then I did post up a little Q&A. Shout out to the one homie who put up a question. I know he's watching, so I'm going to answer that question as well. And then the second part, I'm going to try and see if it's not raining too hard. I'm going to hook up the mic to the back so we can get that nice exhaust sound. You guys can enjoy a little driving clip through the canyons over here, mini canyons I'll call them. And that will be this video, and then hopefully as the weather starts to get better, we will come out with some more videos, some more POVs, some driving, some exhausts. And yes, that is the plan, guys. So starting on the interior, I've only changed out a few things. I started with the start and stop button. I got the 1M, polar blue one from IND. I replaced it because the other one was just like worn out, and it was time to get changed. The second thing I did was the paddle shifters. I got the Nelson Racing paddle shifters. Literally have been amazing. They feel so good in the hand. Literally one of the best mods I've done for this car, because it's one of those parts of the car that you interact with every day. So I think it's worth having a nice piece there and spending a little extra money to get the nice part. I mean, as far as like aesthetic modification, those are about the only two things I've done on the inside. I did replace the trunk button switch. That was worn out, so I just wanted the car to look clean on the inside. I don't want things to look worn out. So that was the last thing I did inside here. Aside from that, that's it. So engine and performance wise, this car is almost a full bolt-on car. I just haven't gotten the intercooler yet. I probably will do that in the future. As far as tuning goes, I have the MHD Stage 1 Plus tune on this. I have no complaints. The only complaint I have with the off-the-shelf tune with the MHD Stage 1 is that when you're on the highway, I feel like, I'm distracted by that E92 M3 right there. When you're on the highway, it seems like when you keep a constant speed, let's say you're going 70, it feels like the throttle sometimes is modulating. It's kind of hard to describe, but it doesn't feel like the engine is just constantly working at a steady RPM. It feels like there's like some modulation there. I don't know what the right word for that is, but aside from that, the power output is great now that I've got the new tires, which I'll go over. The power is perfect for this car, especially if you're going to go in the canyons. I think more is just like, I want more. Who doesn't want more power? I mean, I want this thing to be like a rowdy beast, but I think what it has right now is perfect for the canyons. And then obviously the burbles, that has made a nice difference. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the Stage 1. Eventually I'll probably go Stage 2. Honestly, I really want to go custom. I don't want to mess around with these off-the-shelf tunes anymore. They're just they don't make sense to me. I think everybody should have a custom tune, especially with the supporting mods that you have. Your car should be tuned appropriately. It shouldn't just be one size fits all, but that's what we're dealing with right now. Other supporting mods, like I said, almost full bolt-on. So I have the VRSF catted downpipe. Dude, that has made this car sound like a beast. It sounds so good. It's not overbearingly loud. There is a little bit of drone that goes away. It sounds super aggressive. There's a lot of turbo spool, turbo whistle that you can hear from both ends. It's transformed this car, honestly. And then obviously there's a little bump in power too, which honestly I don't think I felt, but who cares? It just sounds so good. And N55, man, what can you say? N55, I don't know anything better. The B58 maybe, but aside from that, intake, I'm running the BMS intake for the N55. It sounds so good. I thought that it was going to be annoying on a daily drive, but you can't even hear it that much, especially when you're just driving in the regular mode. But if you have the sport mode on, for some reason, I don't know what it does in the engine, but it makes the intake go crazy, dude. Like, it's just like constantly going off. Of course, depending on how you drive the car, but it's way more audible, and it sounds really good. Do not regret that one at all. At the VRSF charge pipe, obviously that's not really, that's not really a mod. It's just a supporting mod. Oh, also I forgot to mention with the exhaust, I have the resonator delete. So that was replaced with a Y pipe, which you pretty much get when you get the M Performance exhaust. VRSF catted downpipe to the Y pipe and the muffler. That's it. There's nothing else in between. The tips I've left the same because they're like a gloss black. I think I might just buy new ones, like the same ones, OEM, just to freshen them up because they have some wear. I mean, this is a 2013, so got about 10 years on this car. Aesthetically, on the outside, I have done not a lot. I try to keep things looking OEM plus. I want the car to look really good. I want it to be timeless. I don't want it to have weird body angles and shapes, by adding all this other stuff to it. So I haven't done too much right now. I plan to do maybe just a little bit more. But as of now, the first thing I did was the OEM M Performance gloss black kidney grills. Those, enough said. I mean, those are just, they're the first mod you should do. Second, I did the Lux Angel LED. Those things, man, they look really, really good. They've held up, not a single problem with them. Really, really bright, especially when you can adjust the brightness with the, I forgot the app that I use. It's coming to me. Yeah, I'll put it up on the screen. I can't think of it right now. As far as suspension goes, it is completely stock, so M Sport suspension, except I did replace the front control arms, all four, with the Melee HD front control arm kit. I feel like that has actually made the front end a lot more stable. There's a lot more, I feel like some grip, maybe more feel. They just feel really good and they're noticeable over stock, especially when your stock ones are, in my case, 84,000, or at the time 82,000 miles. So I think those were worth it. But I do plan on getting some new suspension. I'm going to talk about that at the end of all this because I'm going to answer one of the questions, and one of the questions was, what are future plans for the car? Suspension is stock. Aside from that, now getting onto the wheels. The wheels are the R-Gates. I got the 18-inch. I've got the 9.5 in the back, 8.5 in the front. And then the back offset, I think it was ET57, and the fronts were like ET45. I did get spacers though, so I have a 5 in the back and I have a 3 in the front. However, I took the 3 in the front off just because that was kind of accentuating this wheel shake. So I have that off, which the wheel shake I might go over in this video. I might save it, but and tires, of course, the Michelin PS4S. I didn't know that they actually stopped making the Super Sports, Michelin Pilot Super Sports, and those were replaced with the PS4Ss permanently, so I have those. That was probably, if you're looking to do a mod that is going to improve handling and just overall performance of your car, tuned or not, definitely get like really good sticky tires, because it just has increased my confidence in driving this car, especially in the canyons here when you need the most grip so you don't fly off and kill yourself. Especially with the power increase, I have traction in all gears now. Before on the stocks I didn't. So that was well worth the money. I also have the wheel stud kit from Apex, which I have had no problems with. At first I was a little bit sketched about it, but I think it's fine. I think as everything is done, according to the instructions, I think you should be all right. I like the look too. It gives it more of like a motorsport look, something like a track car, like a canyon car. what's annoying is that if you do get them and you do take your car to America's Tire, they will not touch your car because of the wheel studs. So every single time I have to get this, stuff sorted out. I got to take my wheels off, put them in the trunk, take them to America's Tire, and just do that process back and forth. It's really annoying. I wish I could just drive my car into the bay and have them take care of it. I don't want to do that anyways, because I'm the type of guy where I want myself to take them off so that they don't scratch anything and whatnot. But sometimes you're just like, oh, what the hell, and you just want them to do it because for whatever reason. But I can't do that, so that's the one annoying thing that I kind of wish I had extended wheel lugs for. I don't know, I may switch them out, I may not, we'll see. But yeah, if switching the tires around sorts that issue, then I think I'll just leave the studs on. But I definitely might switch out the spacers. I don't really like the way they work in the front, so I'm going to look into maybe getting like some H&Rs just to replace them. Okay, so the one question that I was asked was, what are my future plans for this car? So number one, definitely within the next few months, I am gonna get some coilovers. This car needs to be dropped. Like, the M Sport suspension, I feel like is pretty good. Like, coming out of the box right from the factory, I think this is a pretty good suspension option. Like, I drove it in the canyons if you watched my last video, and it did pretty well. Like, the body roll wasn't crazy. It was a lot less than my 335. I used to have a 335 just with the Sport package, not the M Sport, and that thing body rolled like crazy. But this one with the M Sport, it actually was pretty darn good. So far it's been very fun to drive. But I need to cancel some of that wheel gap. I need this thing to look slammed, and I need it to be really, really tight on the mountain roads. So I want to get some suspension. I haven't decided if I want to do BC Racing or if I want to do KW V2s. I just have to make that decision. I may do front and rear sway bars, but again, this is kind of like my daily, so I don't need this thing to be super uncomfortable, like there's no point. If the coilovers make the car feel good on the mountains, then that's all that matters to me. I'm not out here doing competitions and whatnot, or beating, track times. Like, I just want the car to feel planted. I want it to feel solid, but I may or may not do those. There's some other stuff in the back, like the rear subframe bushing, but that's a little bit more involved, and costly, so I probably won't do that anytime soon. So performance-wise, I would like to get an intercooler, and then basically make the car stage 2. But I think at that point, what I would do is I would just get a custom tune, just so everything feels, solid, and not mess around with the off-the-shelves. So I think that's in the books as well. And then for the rear, you don't really see this often, but I really want to get the ducktail trunk, like the carbon fiber. It can even be fiberglass, I don't care. I'm gonna paint it anyways, but I would love to get that and just see how that makes the car look. And I think I would change out the rear diffuser to a carbon fiber one, but I think my front split, the front lip is not going to be carbon fiber. It's going to be like a gloss black, because again, I don't want this car to look like way overly modified. I want it to look OEM plus. I want it to look clean. So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to do aesthetically. I would like to go big turbo, but again, I don't know if I'm going to keep this car for the long term. But that's kind of where we're at. The tints, I forgot to mention, these are 35% all the way around. I think perfect in my opinion. Good for the sun, good for the looks. So that's pretty much it for this part of the video, guys. I hope you got your questions answered. Now you know everything about my car, and now I'm basically gonna drive around on these curvy roads. It's wet, it's rainy out, so I'm not gonna be going crazy at all, but just doing it a little bit so you guys can have fun and enjoy the exhaust sound, because it sure sounds good. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Good seeing you guys again, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. Turns out I never hit record, so all the things I just said. Dude, this car's got some grip. Bro, that was Watt. That was Watt, and it's wet as hell out right now and barely spun. Just a tiny bit first. Third gear Watt. Oh. Good braking. Dude, these tires, man, nice. Nice stuff. It is hella wet outside, guys, so I'm not going too crazy because I would like to live another 60 years if possible. And I would not like to die in my BMW. Let's go. The car feels very good in the rain, man. And that was with traction off. Third gear watt. Got any spin? Woohoo! Yo, this sounds so good. I miss this car, man. Once it starts to get nice out, I think I'm gonna head up to like some of the Malibu canyons and the Angeles Crest. That's been like my dream. I want to rip it through those tunnels, man. Yes, that would be so fun. Second gear watt. Do we have traction? Oh, yes. Third gear pull coming. Grip is just insane from these tires, even in wet conditions.